So,
Hello, Dr. Whitaker. I had a
hello.
question, if I
Sure.
may. Mohammed.
Then I'm allowed to
So
use your first name, I see, Mohammed.
yes, I try to give it away so I can save you the time of talking about that.
All right. It's good to hear
Uh,
from you.
great seeing you again.
Yes.
Doctor, so in one of the questions, the NMR data for a carbon
Yep.
that was attached to 3 carbons,
Yep.
it said that it had 6 neighboring hydrogens.
All right.
So on that,
1 second. Let me try to catch up with you here. So you said
oh,
there's
okay.
a carbon with 3 carbon groups attached,
Yes.
correct? And there's a hydrogen on here. So that's where we're at
And
so far. Yep.
no, actually, one of them is double bonded to the other carbon.
So now we're talking about a vinyl, right? We're in
Yes,
this is
and
a
this is a carbon.
internal vinyl carbon. And how many neighbors did you say there are?
It's actually that hydrogen is a carbon, so that carbon is it's a singlet,
Oh, this one's a singlet.
and the one in the middle, so
This
it's
one here.
attached to a 3rd carbon. Instead of the hydrogen, it's another carbon.
Oh, there's no hydrogen there at all?
No hydrogens.
On that carbon anyway. Okay, so we got a carbon, and then what else do we have?
And those 2 carbons with a single bond, they have 3 H's on them. So
Each
it's
one? Okay.
CH3, CH3, yeah.
All right.
And it said, and that the carbon at the end of the double bond, it also has a H. It's a CH.
Got it. And there's something else on there
Okay.
too?
And the NMR, yes, I forgot. It's a R group. It doesn't relate to my question.
It's not a hydrogen, so that's important, but you don't care what
It's
it is,
not a
right? For this
hydrogen,
part, for this
yes.
question, you don't care.
For this specific question,
Oh, and I
yes.
forgot to put the 3 on this one. Okay, so we're here. So we
So
call
the
these.
NMR data
Yep.
for the carbon in the middle, it said that it had 6 neighboring hydrogens. So I was wondering if it had a double bond to a carbon, that wouldn't be considered as a neighboring hydrogen.
Okay, now there's no situation where there's 6 neighboring hydrogens here, because this hydrogen here, the neighboring carbon is here, and there's no H's on it. So I don't know what's in R, but with what we have here, this would be a singlet because it has no neighbors. That changes though if you put any H's on this R group carbon.
But
And these would be singlets too. Because there's no neighboring H's next door. Here's next door. That's the neighboring carbon. There's no H's on there, so this would be a singlet. And same story here, that these H's have no neighboring H's because there's the neighboring carbon and there's no H's on it. So that's also a singlet.
I think I might have just understood it differently when I was watching the lecture. So that actually it does not have NMR data, right? The one in the middle.
Yeah, it won't have any hydrogen NMR data because there's no hydrogens on it. It would show up in C13 NMR, but we're not going to focus a lot on that except for counting the number of signals in a C13 spectrum. Singlet or more if there are H's on R. There we go, just to be clear.
Okay. I might have just understood it in a different way. I thought
you're just getting used to this idea of neighbors. So we have to know what a neighbor is. And in our old language, a neighbor is the same as saying on a vicinal carbon. Vicinal being on the next one over. So you can't count these 3 H's as neighbors to this H. They're not on the next carbon. So this has no neighbors here. We don't know if there's neighbors here. This has no H's, so we're not going to talk about neighbors for him because he's got no H.
Okay, I thought one of the data was for that specific carbon, but now I realize that it doesn't even have anything. So
okay.
All right. That was it.
So we're just starting 13, trying to get through that.
Yes, and I think I got to the second segment of the
videos. Yeah.
Of the second day. So the second set of 4.
All right, we're getting through it. So you're going to get through those videos and start doing the text problems. And after you start those text problems, things start making a little more sense. That's when it gets real.
Exactly what I plan to do. Yeah.
Yeah. That's when it gets practical.
Thank you so much, doctor.
You're welcome, Mo. Does anybody else have questions?